baby. Crimson Desert is coming soon, and honestly, there is tons of hype. There's some people skeptical, and I understand why, but there's also tons of hype. I can't stop logging into Twitter and seeing positive tweets about the game, saying in which that the game, it's a massive open world map that's bigger than Skyrim, how diverse the combat is, the new method of transportations where you have gliding, mounts, big gigantic mechs, tons and tons of positive tweets, except that one. That was a little rough. Apparently, Crimson Desert is going to need to have some sort of internet connection to run, and that is just an objective L. I don't know why that would even be required to play this game, since it doesn't seem to be live service in any capacity. But other than that, it's looking still pretty positive. It's looking pretty positive. A lot of people are trying to put Crimson Desert as possibly the next Skyrim, the next Witcher 3, Legend of Zelda. And there's a possibility if they can deliver on what we're looking at, it might be up there. I have no doubt in my mind that this will be the second best-selling game of the year behind GTA 6, if it ever comes out. Quickly, Crimson Desert has been in development for over 6 years by the studio Pearl Abyss, who's primarily known for Black Desert Online. If you don't know, Black Desert Online is a Korean MMO that launched in 2014. As I was doing some research, I saw a couple mixed reactions on this game as well. While you look at Black Desert Online's gameplay, and it looks fantastic. Smooth animations, very interactive combat with a combo system similar to a fighting game. It's pretty fluent for MMO gameplay. It's not your normal tab targeting like WoW or Final Fantasy XIV, so I can truly see why someone would be interested in a game like this. Sadly, what I've learned is it's a Korean MMO, and so you're going to be milked for every nickel and dime you have, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. The reputation of Black Desert Online, it seems some people were hesitant to really look into Crimson Desert, as it was made by Pearl, and originally Crimson Desert was announced as an MMO in the early stages of development. Again, but looking past the previous title and giving them the highest benefit of the doubt. This is the most benefit of the doubt I have given a AAA studio in a long time, so please don't burn me. I truly believe we are looking at a game that can be really special. Crimson Desert is Breath of the Wild on steroids. You can even call it a single player's wet dream. That's how awesome it should be in theory. Starting off with what I think is going to be the best and most interesting part to me will be the combat. The combat of Crimson Desert really is something different. It's not like a FromSoft game like Elden Ring, where you have to sit there and wait a couple seconds to parry and learn boss patterns. And I'm sure there is a level of obviously learning boss attacks and parrying and sliding and dodging, but this game is way more fast-paced, very much a combination of hack and slash with a fighting game where you have actual traditional combo systems. Bro's gonna be out here hitting the semicircle while he's in the middle of a fight. The amount of options you have to do combat in this game it's actually pretty crazy. It's overwhelming, but in a fantastically positive way. You have the option to use swords, shields, bows, arrows. You could drop the weapons and start beating people up with your fists like you're Conor McGregor boxing the bloody head off of someone. Double leg takedowns, angle slams, like it's like WWE meets medieval times. Sparta kicking people off of cliffs. Again, fighting people with mounts. You can use your big blue mech to blow people up or fight from your dragon. Grappling hooks. The list goes on and on and on. Each character, because there are multiple playable characters, are going to have their own distinct fighting style as well. It's very clear that Pearl Abyss wanted players to have not only a high level of combat skill expression with Crimson Desert, but a plethora of options to actually make sure that you're having fun and not just dealing with the same weapons over and over again. One of my favorite games of all time, Witcher 3. I think the combat, it maybe not be the strongest thing ever, and you do have your different signs you can use, whether fire, Yrden, etc., but you're going to have a wider variety of weapons in your arsenal in Crimson Desert, to the point where you can mix it up. If I want to start off by hitting someone with a sword and swap to my knee and hit him with a flying knee like I'm Jorge Masvidal, I can do that. Can't really do that in these other games, which is also making it feel more unique and why people are so hyped. The most important part of the game, as the quote of the day says, March 19th will make or break me. My mental, that tub might be looking hella good with a toaster in Minecraft on that day. This game's ass. Hopefully it launches with no bugs, by the way. Now, one of the things that I also find super interesting about Crimson Desert, it's not your normal progression system where you level from 1 to 5,000. The devs don't even consider the game an RPG due to the fact it doesn't have a leveling system. Pearl Abyss is taking the approach of actually making you have to progress by playing the game and not using certain mobs or certain XP farms to unlock all of your abilities. The way the progression works, it's mainly forwarded by an item called Abyss Artifacts. These artifacts are able to be found through various resources, such as completing quests, beating bosses, exploring both on the ground and in the sky. Yes, you heard that right. You're exploring in the sky, because why the fuck wouldn't you? In medieval times when you could pull out a blue mech, why can't you be able to fly up and meet God himself? Who fucking cares? Throw it at the kitchen sink at this point. The sky exploration is, again, very similar to Breath of the Wild shrines, as they have their own version of this. You solve puzzles to sit down and truly unlock Abyss artifacts. One thing I gotta say about these in the sky puzzles, visually this shit just doesn't mix with the game. I'll be honest with you. It is so jarring to see this big ass like Viking looking dude being able to fly up into the air and use like a magic to just maneuver puzzles around, and just the art style of it. I'll get over it because the gameplay will probably be fun and the puzzles seem cool, but it is just jarring to look at a little bit. I can't lie to you, but it's okay. I'll take the Abyss artifacts. And Abyss artifacts are not just tied to unlocking, let's say, combat attributes such as new skills to use, expanding on current skills that you already have. It's also used to help you get more stamina, get more health, passives as well. So you're not just going to be getting Abyss artifacts for the combat attributes. Another pretty cool thing about this game is they're taking a really fun system from Where Winds Meet, the fantastic open world free-to-play gacha game, if you want to call it, where you can actually copy enemies and NPCs to learn skills from them. For example, from what I've seen, you actually learn fishing by copying an NPC from fishing in the open world. If you want to learn the belly flop, hit him with the big old Mark Henry boom, you have to copy Mark Henry in the open world doing the belly flop. This makes for a more immersive way of playing the game and progressing. It's not just, again, random farming like how I would do in like Kingdom Hearts, when I'm like sitting in the world that never was fighting Heartless. I have to pretty much play the game. I have to interact with NPCs that I might have not interacted with, find puzzles that I need to use, do different types of quests, explore more to feel as if I am growing. And now with the lack of leveling system is going to create a very interesting environment for the actual combat and boss fights themselves. Since there is no leveling, each zone is not going to scale to your level. It's going to be very similar to World of Warcraft Classic, where each zone has own enemies that have their own set difficulty. Some areas you will be over prepared and it will be a breeze. You're going to be like Brock Lesnar throwing John Cena around 16 times. But in other areas, you're going to be like Rey Mysterio getting choked out by the Great Khali. And that's the fun of it. I don't want to feel powerful the whole time. I want to be able to have a little bit of friction where I need to go and explore, learn new skills, build my character up, and come back, get my ass kicked again. I have to do even more and come back and finally win. It makes for a more interactive experience and not just a basic, all right, I'm level 29, let me go fight him. You never know. Maybe some abilities you unlocked might not suit the boss you need to fight. That's the fun that comes with them. Now, I've been glazing pretty hard. I have. I can't lie. I've been going up. Despite the combat being overwhelming, there's just tons of other systems in the game in itself where that looks overwhelming to the average person. Now, I don't think IGN is the most reliable place in the world, but I'll be honest with you, one of their headlines is Crimson Desert promises the world, but how much will it deliver? I watched their original review. I thought it was okay. Didn't agree with everything, but there is a plethora of different type of mini games and systems in Crimson Desert that you could really tell it felt like it was an MMO at first, right? One of the features I think that looks fantastic personally is you are going to have a crime system. You're able to rob people, steal items, interact with NPCs, pickpocket them, threaten them to the point where you can become wanted and get chased down by guards and brought to jail. This in the system in itself sounds unique and makes the world feel very open and more interactive, kind of on a sandbox level. But what some people are saying, shout out to Saint Tone on Twitch, fantastic content creator, go follow the bro. Looking at his review, because he's had 4 hours on the game, this system is a bit lackluster. It seems in which you're not able to interact with as many people as they wanted to, and so hopefully this will be a bit more fleshed out later on in the game. But if we're going to see tons of mini interactive systems, but they're a bit half-baked, for example, there's a housing system, there's a war system where you can send people to go out and fight NPCs for you and bring back resources. If all of these are surface level, then yeah, it's gonna suck in some sort of capacity. Now, I'm not really looking to play Crimson Desert to play house or to maybe do like horse racing or whatever type of racing there is there, but that is something to keep in mind. You know, one of the things that IGN said, again, with a grain of salt, but they played the game for X amount of time and walked away feeling, what is the purpose of this game? What am I doing? And well, if you have that much shit to do, Some people might feel that way. Not me, though, because I'm better than y'all. It is what it is. But I understand that feeling. So hopefully Crimson Desert can find a way to make each of these different type of experience feel impactful enough to your player experience. And the last thing is the story. The story is up in the air. I mean, I read the synopsis off of Google. It seems pretty basic. Crimson Desert's an open world action adventure following Cliff, a mercenary leader navigating a war-torn continent of Pywell. After a brutal betrayal by the Black Bear faction, he leaves Greymane crew scattered. Cliff must reunite his allies, survive high fantasy combat, and confront a looming mysterious threat from the abyss. Pretty basic stuff. I mean, the premise in itself is not bad. We've seen this before, but depending on how the writing is, the voice acting, the dialogue, the story presentation, this can be fantastic, but it doesn't feel like the story was really showed off in the same way that all of the features for the game were shown. So it's a bit concerning, but I will say for myself, if I find the gameplay to be enjoyable enough and the story's garbage, I won't particularly care. You know, when I play a game like Skyrim or Elden Ring, I know both those games have fantastic lore, but I'm not playing them for that. I'm playing Elden Ring to replace the fact that I'm mentally ill, and I shouldn't be jumping into the bathtub with a toaster in Minecraft that night. I'm playing Skyrim because I want to just be in an open world and do anything and fight dragons with their janky combat system that sucks, but I'm somewhat addicted to. So, story, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know. But Crimson Desert has the chance to really make a big impact. Some would say a Genshin impact.